Welcome back to yet another episode of the Stumped Podcast. I'm your host, Spencer.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Logan.
Man, I'm your host, Spencer. Okay.
You like that? I switched it up. I actually, you want to?
Yeah, you made it all about you.
Well, I was gonna say hosts, and then you want to hear? You want to hear what happened? Actually,
I do.
you said go. Yeah.
What happened?
You said go, and I couldn't remember what the intro was. And in mid, I go, I've done this. How many times have I done this? I don't know, 100 times. And I literally go, is it I'm your host? Is it we're your hosts? Is it just my name? I don't even remember what it is. And so
That's too funny.
Hopefully that's not a telltale sign of how tonight goes. But I could not remember what the intro was.
I hope that's a telltale sign of how tonight goes.
Honestly,
But knowing your luck, you'll just ask Joe what number is wrong,
Bingo.
and she'll get it right for you. So,
Bingo. So
honestly,
forgive me, everyone. I am not the sole host here, but I clearly forgot the intro.
he's off his rocker.
So-
That's just all there is.
he's off his rocker. Good.
Whatever.
Good,
Here we go.
Good.
New year, new me, right?
Yeah. Hopefully, it's losing you. It's trying to eat and drink
And
at the same time.
Spencer's dying on air.
Yeah. Okay. We need a recap.
All right, yeah. So I can give scores. So last week's episode ended with a rather unfair score of Spencer at 2.5 points, and Logan and myself tied at half a point, which means we had to score 2 perfect episodes individually to be able to catch back up to Spencer.
Yeah,
That's tough.
we were talking
That's
about
tough.
this, Spencer, and our new scoring method. You've outscored me by 2 points this season, and now you're up 2 episodes.
Oh, did you
That
guys?
is tough.
Did you guys
Yeah,
like go back and count the points or whatever?
Yeah, because
Logan
you beat me by 1 twice,
Yeah.
and we tied the third. So
Yep. And
Listen,
you are now
if history-
2 full episodes on him. 4 half episodes on him.
So if you go back to season 1, and you recall, I had a monumental lead through about 10 episodes. So don't put it past me to blow this one as well. So who knows?
oh, I'm not.
Yeah.
I just, I
I've
hope
played-
you do. So
I've played enough euchre with you to know no lead is safe.
That's true. That's true. You never know. But you have played
Oh,
enough
man.
cornhole with me, and leads are safe there.
That's true. Have we talked
The
about our
Midwest
cornhole
game.
run in this before?
No. That should be okay. Backtrack. Topic for today: Superhuman Feats. Logan and
Yes.
I had a Superhuman feat, undefeated in cornhole for I don't know how long.
We had to have been like 40-some games. I mean, we
Something nuts.
ran people for
Dang.
like years. I mean, it was years before
Years.
we lost our first
Years.
game.
And
I love it.
it was at a wedding, and I almost cried that night.
We went over,
That's true.
what, 7 times?
It was literally like 10-2, 18-2. Okay, back to 15-5. Okay, back to 19-6, 15-7. It was a brutal, and then we lost. Yeah, it was brutal.
I was genuinely sick. Like, I no longer wanted to enjoy the wedding.
Yeah. I went by myself and boycotted the wedding because no, I'm joking. But anyways,
amazing.
so superhuman feats,
Superhuman.
gentlemen. Does anyone have a theme within a theme? Because I'll say it.
I've got a theme within a theme.
Always.
I don't.
You don't? Oh, man.
I just want 3 superhuman feats. I guess if you want to say anything, we can call it maybe like I don't know. I don't
so
got
you
one.
don't have anything.
I don't got one. Mine's just
Well-
superhuman feats.
My theme is I've got stories about Bigfoot. Superhuman. No, I'm just joking. I don't have any stories about Bigfoot, nor do I have a
was
theme.
so excited.
Okay.
I'm with Spencer on this one.
All right,
And
Spencer.
Logan, what's your theme?
Bigfoot, real or true? I need to know here.
Do I want it to be true? Sure.
Did you say
do I-
real or true?
Yes,
Yeah.
because there's no other option.
Yeah. Oh no, you're insane.
What you got for us, Logan?
I'm doing superhuman circus acts or entertainment acts of sorts, I guess you could say. But yes, mostly
Interesting.
circus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's alrighty.
Who wants to kick us off?
I'll
I haven't
go.
gone first in a while. Oh,
Go for it, Matt. Go for
no,
it.
Wait,
you
wait.
take us away.
Yeah, go ahead. Logan, take it away. I want to hear Logan's
it
circus.
away.
I'm in a circus theme because Cirque du Soleil came to an area near me, and we didn't get to see it, so I'm in a circus mood.
Love it. First off, I would like to say I almost told the story of the heroic bowling performance we saw from Matt, a superhuman feat,
Yeah.
That was almost my intro.
on 12 hot dogs. If you don't know
I
what we're
almost did a
talking
thing
about,
on hot dogs.
if you don't know what we're talking about, go to Instagram, click the save story. It's an incredible superhuman feat. But I have, all right, 3 stories for you guys. A wheelie bad
let's hear
day, bite me, or old Iron Abs crabs.
I want the last one.
Yeah,
Well-
I do too.
Old Iron Abs crabs. Right. So you guys have seen SpongeBob, right?
We just need T-shirts. We just need T-shirts with your titles on them for merch. That's it.
The Iron
That's
Abs
true.
crabs was a great episode.
It-
All right. So, story. During the early 1900s, while serving in World War I, an American soldier by the name of Frank Richards learned he had a very particular skill set. He could withstand punches to his stomach without feeling any pain from his friends. Upon returning from war, Frank decided to use his superhuman belly to earn some cash and began charging people to punch him in the stomach at a local comedy club. Now, you may be thinking, how hard can the average person punch? Odds are not very. To prove his stomach was more than an act or a cheap gimmick, Richards got with world heavyweight Jack Dempsey and let him punch him in the gut 75 straight times, but Frank felt no pain. He let people jump on his stomach to prove it wasn't how he was taking the hits or that he was leaning back out of them either. As if that wasn't enough, he soon moved on to an 18-pound sledgehammer, which he would let people swing into his gut, feeling no pain. Soon, took his act even further, performing with a local circus. During his act, he would get shot in the stomach by a cannon. And it wasn't a modified cannonball. The projectile weighed 104 pounds. It was launched by a spring-loaded air cannon 10 feet in the air into Frank's stomach. This time, Frank did feel a little pain, but not that much. So to help preserve his iron stomach, the circus limited him to 2 cannonball acts a day. Frank became a cultural legend, getting referenced in everything from The Simpsons to Seinfeld to The Fairly Odd Parents. He died at the age of 81 in 1969.
I have one dilemma with this story,
Yep.
and one only. My favorite TV show on this planet, without a doubt, is Seinfeld. I've seen every episode 1,000 times. That's an exaggeration, but I've never once heard this reference in Seinfeld.
Interesting.
Never once.
I
Interesting.
watched. Go ahead.
Correct me, but I could be wrong, but I've never heard that before.
Uh,
That's my one grievance.
You know Seinfeld better than I. I've seen it through, but just once, and I would definitely lose you in Seinfeld trivia. Do you want a wheelie bad day or bite me?
Bite me.
Okay. In the 1910s, Richard Keel, a tall man with a strange talent, quickly became one of the most famous acts in the Ringling Brothers Circus. His talent, while unusual, earned him a level of societal fame that peaked with a literal James Bond villain being based off his abilities. What was his skill, you act? Richard had a literal iron jaw. He had the ability to bite down with such a high force that he could bite coins in half. Richard would perform acts such as pulling a fire truck on a rope held only by his mouth. He would also bite down on a handle that would hoist him 50 feet in the air, spinning him around slowly as he flew overhead of the crowds. One of his most famous acts included playing tug of war with a lion, both of which holding the rope in their mouths. They would pull against each other. Keel would travel the country, wowing crowds with his Herculean jaws for nearly 20 years. University of Stanford ran tests on Keel's bite strength to see just how strong his bite force was. His bite force measured an incredible 985 pounds of force, the highest ever measured by a human being. The average human, for comparison, has roughly 150 pounds of bite force. His incredible bite force became the loose basis for Jaws, a metal-toothed henchman in the 1977 James Bond movie, The Spy Who Loved Me. Richard died in 1963, and a mold of his jaw still sits in Ripley's Believe It or Not to this day.
I have no idea.
Amazing. Man, those carrots never stood a chance. I mean,
This is a side story. Do you guys know that it's like just as easy to bite off your pinky finger as it is bite through a baby carrot?
Yep, I've heard that.
I feel like that's not true.
No, I think that is. I think it's a mental
tested
thing.
It is mental. So mentally, you won't let yourself bite through a pinky, but the force needed to snap that bone is just the same force as a baby carrot.
I have heard that before.
Well, Logan, I look forward to watching you try this later.
I will. Next time you're eating carrots, think of this because it will mess you up. You're like accidentally like pop. Oh no! Like there she goes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the last one?
I'm just gonna make eye contact with Matt next time I eat a carrot.
I'm so concerned.
Oh, a wheelie bad day. In the early days of aviation, a new type of circus began to take place. A group known as the 13 Flying Black Cats did aerial acrobatics in their planes over crowds in Southern California, all without parachutes, till they were eventually forced to by law. But this story takes place before they were forced to. One day in 1926, during a show, Art Goebel, a black cat performer, was performing a mid-air maneuver when the unthinkable happened. One of his tires fell off of his small plane. Seeing what had happened, Bon McDougall, the founder of the Black Cats and fellow performer, went up in his plane with Gladys Ingle with him. Gladys was the only woman in the group and was only the fourth woman ever to receive her pilot's license in the U.S. at the time, and was known for her incredible skill of sky hopping, where she would jump from plane to plane without a parachute as high as 2,000 feet of elevation. Gladys strapped a tire to her back, rode on Bond's wing as he flew up beside Art, and then leapt onto Art's wing. Once on Art's plane, she maneuvered under the plane, got the tire off of her back, and attached it to his plane. She did all of this, climbed back into Art's plane, and landed safely with no injuries, to the amazement of a crowd of 500 onlookers. Gladys' superhuman feat saved the life of her coworker, and they both continued performing with the group throughout the 1920s.
Oh,
Gosh.
wait. This is where the dilemma comes. I wanted you to go first, Logan, because I did a little research on superhuman feats in the circus and had like 4 or 5 stories in my head.
Yep.
You didn't hit any of them.
Yes.
Not one.
Nice.
Not a single one. And so I was like, yes, like I'm gonna peg them here. I got a few in my head here, and none of them. The only thing, for some reason, that plane one, I read a headline in one article I was reading that said, "First plane walker," and I'm thinking, is that who they were referring to? I should have read the stupid article. Oh, but those names sound so familiar.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think I know which one I'm going with. But I just don't know. Matt, what are you thinking?
Dude, I have no clue. As always, coming in strong with stories.
My
The
storytelling.
only thing that like confuses me about 3 is he was like, until they were forced to wear parachutes, like kind of throwing it in like an extra part of the story that doesn't need to be there.
I know. Here's my dilemma. I think 3, those names sound so familiar, and maybe that was the headline I read. And so I feel like I'm leaning against 3, but Matt, you nailed it right on the head. I'm with you 100%.
So I'm leaning against number 2 only because I feel like I've heard that before.
Oh, I was gonna pick 2.
Like I feel like I have a vivid image in my mind of someone holding a handlebar and being suspended in the air and spinning. The problem is, I don't know about the rest of it.
No, the lion. That's what got me.
The lion's a tough part, or a tiger, whichever one it was. Doesn't really matter.
No, because here's the dilemma with the lion, right? Have you seen the video of the strongman? I got into like the strongman videos or whatever. They had like strongmen pulling a rope against a lion. That lion did not budge, and so for him to pull the lion
strong.
So for him to pull the lion back and forth, I just don't think that's true.
Did it say he pulled the lion, or he just held his own?
They just they never said who won it. Just said they held the rope and played tug of war, quote unquote.
Okay.
But he's not pulling a lion.
My money's on the lion. Oh. I will tell you, I read that. I Googled the bite force of a lion. It's 750 pounds. So, bite force wise.
Yeah, but bite force is different than strength.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. I have to think the lion
What
wins
was
if
the
he wants
first
to
one
win.
again?
First one was
First one was abs.
yeah, old iron
Got
abs.
punched
crabs.
a lot. World War One.
104-pound cannonball to the gut through a cannon.
to the gut. I also feel like I've heard that, but that's it's
Oh,
a
man, I was
spring-loaded
thinking-
cannon, so it is not a traditional cannon.
No, but it did shoot 104 pounds 10 feet in the air, which I mean, you throw a 100-pound dumbbell at someone 10 feet, that thing's moving.
I was thinking the same
Yeah.
thing though.
All three of these are
Did we double
incredibly
fun this one?
superhuman, which is what makes it fun for me because
Yes,
the two that
they
are true just still blow my mind, and the one I made
Yeah.
up, I had to really just be like, yeah.
Spencer, do we just tag team this and go together?
What are you thinking?
I'm leaning that number 2 is correct, and I'm leaning towards 3.
I don't
But
think
boy,
3.
that would be amazing to see.
Something in my head is just ringing that 3 is true, but I don't know.
I think 1's the easiest to make up. 2 is the easiest to modify. 3 is just out of the world. Unless you watch the movie and it's based off a movie of which you would be wrong.
A flipper
I
incident,
just
so
think
to
I'm gonna
speak.
Flip a coin. I think I'm going with you though, Spencer, that 3 is correct. It is true. But I really feel like 2 is true, but that lion aspect.
So, I think I have that headline in my head and it's just ringing, and I think 3's true.
You
Last
should
time I
follow
said
your
this,
head.
Matt. Last time, shut up, Logan. Last time I
I
said
just like to
this,
mess with you.
it was that dumb art thing, and I could have sworn that was true. So, obviously, what do I know? And so,
Like the abs one is easy to make up.
so the jaw, he had a very strong jaw.
Yes, bite
That
force.
was it.
985
Bite force
pounds
was
bite
just
force.
intense. I
Could hold.
I'm
don't know
locked
why
in.
bite force has anything to do with lion though.
I'm going with my gut. I'm locked in. I'm locked in.
I'm also locked in.
Okay.
Spencer,
All right, what'd you pick,
You went
Spencer?
2.
I went 2.
Matt?
I also went number 2.
Mm.
Well, I guessed number 2. I didn't go number 2.
Logan's too happy.
He's too
He
happy.
double-
He got it
He
right.
double stumped us.
Things you hate to
Gosh,
see.
dang it.
First off, let's discuss number 1. Iron Abs Crabs was a real dude. He took a bunch of punches from. He actually met up with like 7 or 8 pro boxers. It was just Jack Dempsey was the world heavyweight champion at the time. Yeah, dude made a lot of money taking shots to the gut. And they said that 104-pound cannonball, someone else tried it and it killed him. So, like later in time, like they were trying to like recreate to
The
show
dude's
that.
just like always doing planks. His entire life
guess.
is just a plank.
Well, it was just like that he was in the army and someone punched him and he like didn't feel it, and then he just started like trying to see what it would take to feel pain, and it took a literal cannonball until he felt anything. But yeah, that's true. Let's see. Bite Me, Richard Keel.
We're screwed.
I made that one up. You guys got it, which really
oh!
irks me when you tell good stories. So you want to know how I made it up? I took the villain from James Bond and wrote it backwards.
Yeah. Oh, you wrote it backwards? That's awesome.
I took the Jaws villain from James Bond. His real name in the movie, the Jaws villain, is Richard Keel. I was just banking on neither of you being James Bond fans.
I'm a
That's
James Bond
awesome.
fan, but I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, so
If my dad was on this podcast, I would have been like, "Yo, pops."
I took the villain. I wrote him a life story. There is a guy with a superhuman bite force. I pulled that 985-pound bite force from him because I googled what's the highest bite force ever recorded. He could bite coins in half. So I pulled that feat
That's
from
insane.
here. I googled what's the bite
that-
force.
That's Logan. The coin thing wasn't even the problem. For
No,
me.
I
That
know.
Was not, I
It's a
was
lion.
Like, I'm like, I get the coin. The only thing in my head was the lion. I've seen the strongman pull. I'm like, if they can't pull it, no way can a guy with a jaw. But I'm like, I don't know.
The thing that was intended to be was like they grabbed it and like tugged against each other and like neither let go, like playful circus act because you train these animals to not kill someone. So that was what I was going for. I didn't think that would be the catch up, but disappointing nonetheless. Because I looked up the bite force of a lion, it was 650, and I'm like, this
Yeah,
dude had a
I
higher
believe you.
bite force than a lion, like a real guy did.
I
But
believe you.
um,
No, what's funny about writing stories is like the things that trip up the other people are the thing that you're not even thinking is going to be the issue in the story.
yeah,
So
Like their wife guessing the right answer.
yeah.
like that.
That's frustrating, but I well done both of you. I
And the
feel
plane,
stories,
the
though.
plane was true.
yeah. So she did. She was the fourth pilot women to get her pilot, and
Yeah.
she would jump from plane to plane in these air maneuvers without a parachute. And so she strapped a wheel on her back, went over, and she'd already done this. So it was just like the trick she was already used to doing, but this time it was like
Yeah.
life or death because the dude didn't have a tire, and in those little planes, like you weren't landing without it.
That's crazy.
So,
I did
yeah.
not hear that. I literally saw, on some like the links where it says like, whatever, it's like first walking person,
Yeah.
wing walker.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have read that stupid article.
I don't know if she was
But-
the first to do it, but I just know putting that tire on counts as superhuman to me. And yeah,
That's true.
wow,
That's wild.
I'm disappointed because when you hear one of them say the one you believe is 2, I'm like, I got at least 1 point here, and then I still nothing. This is tough.
Yep.
This is a tough pill to swallow.
That is. Okay,
Heck
I'll
yeah,
go
my
next.
dude.
I'll
You
go
got
next.
it?
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay. But well done, Logan.
Uh-uh,
Okay.
I'm sad.
I got 3 titles. My titles are not as clever as Logan. Okay, we got Aquaman, Spider-Girl, or the Human Bird.
Man, those are really creative.
I know, thank you.
Let's go Spider Girl.
Spider-Girl, Spider-Girl. Okay. Professional explorer Leo Holding is no stranger to climbing. He's been doing it since he was 10 years old and made major expeditions across the globe to Mount Everest, Arctic and Antarctic peaks, Yosemite, and the jungles of South America. Big climber. Naturally, this UK-based man introduced his family to his love of the extreme sport. So, for his 40th birthday, he decided to take his wife, Jessica, and their 2 kids, Freya and Jackson, doing what he loves, climbing and exploring new lands. Well, the plot twist here, Leo is not the superhuman. Instead, his 7-year-old daughter, Freya, is. In 2020, his family spent 4 days together scaling the north ridge of Piz Badil on the border of Switzerland and Italy. All 4 of them successfully climbed the 11,000-foot tall mountain. Freya made the trek on her own 2 feet, making her the youngest person to climb Piz Badil, unaided. Now, the brother Jackson, who's 3, is the youngest person to ever make it to the top, but he was carried by mom and dad.
Impressive. I just can't get over you guys guessing mine right, so I didn't pay enough attention.
Bro, I need you. I need you to focus up right now.
I'm so salty.
He's defeated.
I
Okay.
need you to focus up.
That was good. That's an impressive feat. It's incredibly easy to make up a bunch of those names. At the same time, it's an easy article to write. So you've been vague enough to pique my attention. Well done.
So mad right now.
Okay, where are we going next? Aquaman or the Human Bird?
I don't care.
Human Bird.
Yes.
Okay. For as long as he can remember, Jeb Corliss has dreamed of flying. Now the 47-year-old Californian is also known as the Human Bird and has completed over 2,000 jumps, a mix of parachute and base jumping. If you don't know what base jumping is, you pretty much jump off something and you have that wing-type suit, and then you glide between obstacles or whatever. The superhuman part comes in play due to some of his jumps. In 2009, he had a dramatic leap from a helicopter nearly 600 feet over the Matterhorn, which is the mountain in the Alps, with a flight that brought him within a few feet of the peak, which he maintained down the entire 3,000-foot descent off the ridge. Then, in September 2011, Jeb jumped out of another helicopter at nearly 6,000 feet and glided through a 98-foot wide archway in China, landing with a parachute on Nearway Bridge. And then again in 2013, he jumped out of a helicopter and flew through a narrow crack in Mount, Jinglong, which is also in China. And the width is approximately 59 feet across the top and 148 feet across at the bottom, and over 900 feet tall. After safely completing the jump, Corliss was quoted saying, "It was the single gnarliest thing he had ever done, and I've never experienced anything so hardcore." He has numerous other jumps, such as the Eiffel Tower, the Golden Gate Bridge, the Space Needle, and Christ the Redeemer, but those are stories for another day.
How much can one jump out of a helicopter before you become a decapitation hazard?
Oh,
Well, I mean, you're jumping down.
You're falling.
it's not like you're jumping up into the
Oh my!
I feel like the term jump is really misleading there, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm super concerned based off of
When
how
have you
angry he
ever
is at
seen
us right
anyone?
now.
Yeah. When have you ever seen anyone jump out of a helicopter straight up?
I'm just
I
saying
mean,
jump may not be the word there.
okay. Okay.
No.
Note to self in the future.
My old algebra teacher used to say, hey, don't worry. If you don't ace this test, you could still be a ejection seat tester for the helicopters in the U.S. Army.
That's bad.
Yeah, that's what he used to tell us when we do
That's
bad on
bad.
tests. He's like, don't worry, I hear they hire often.
That's bad. I hope he's not fired.
No, he was great. He was awesome.
Oh, that's funny.
All right,
Okay.
what's the next?
Give me the
We
Spider-Man.
have Aquaman.
Oh, yeah, him.
Aquaman. Okay. Veljic Rostic Rogis, I don't know, has always enjoyed swimming or even competing for the University of Pula, which is in Croatia. While at university, the Croatian discovered static apnea, which is the international sport of, and I quote, holding your breath while your head is either partly or fully submerged for as long as possible. Intrigued by the challenge and thinking it would help him compete, Rajestic began to train. Over the next 2 years, he continued to manipulate his body until his resting heartbeat was an astounding 37 beats per minute. After graduating, Rajestic continued to compete in international swim meets while also beginning to compete in newly sanctioned static apnea competitions. Fast forward 7 years to 2004, when the world record of farthest distance swam underwater in 24 hours closed, which means not like in the ocean, it's in like a pool or something, was broken at 81.6 kilometers or about 60 miles. Thinking he could beat the record, on February 22nd, 2006, the Croatian attempted the world record. In a 24-hour period, he swam 109.54 kilometers, which is 68 miles underwater. To date, this record still stands, and Veljico has started his very own swimming academy in Miami named 81.6 Performance, which houses and trains some of the world's best swimmers.
That's not consecutive underwater, is it? That's underwater, but
No.
and then you go under and.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yep, in a 24-hour period.
So some facts about
Oh, so it's a speed race.
yeah. So those
Okay.
deep divers, you know, the average person can go like 10 to 12 minutes underwater. You just don't know it. And it's not that you're running
That's
out of
insane.
oxygen. What makes you want to breathe is that you're building up carbon dioxide. And so you want to exhale, but the problem is when you exhale, then you're starting to compress your body, and it gets a lot harder to hold your breath. So you have to train your mind to hold that carbon dioxide. And if you can do that, even just as a normal person, you can go like 10 minutes underwater. My little
Really?
tidbit. I did a little
I
diving.
I wish I could believe that, but you're telling. I don't know if I could. I would have to train for years to hold my breath 10 minutes underwater.
I'm too scared
No.
to hold my
Oh
breath
my
for 2
gosh.
minutes underwater. Like that's just not gonna.
That's
happen.
what you think. It's literally just you want to exhale that carbon dioxide. Once you get used, because it's not dangerous. It's not a dangerous level. Once you get used to it, like you can just hold that in.
How long can someone how long can someone stay underwater?
Those people that
Like,
are
do we know?
training, they can do like 30 minutes or more.
Oh my
Those
gosh.
people that like
yeah, I think
down in
that
like the Philippines and stuff that live over in the islands.
That's insane.
there was a group of people that have
I'm-
literally adapted to be able to
Yeah.
stay underwater for an
I'm gonna-
insane amount of
I'm
time.
going to Google it.
No,
It
that's
won't show
called
me-
Avatar: The Way of Water.
I'm going to Google it. It won't pull up this guy's name because he's not the
title
holder.
for the episode.
No, I'm just
Oh,
yeah,
man.
it's 25 minutes is the record. Like a lot of those people are going
That's
down there for
wild.
like 20 minutes or more.
That's insane. That is insane. I cannot
All
believe
right,
that.
what do
That's
you
a
think,
ridiculous
Logan?
number.
What do you?
All
what do you
right,
think,
here's
Ian?
my thing. They're all the same brand. It's really hard to pick from the story, so I'm trying to pick out details and tells. And because of that, I don't like the bad quotes in 2, The Human Bird. Saying it was gnarly is such a thing Spencer would write into a story. I don't know if that's the case. All three of these sound practical. I mean, a 7-year-old climbing a mountain is the exact kind of thing we talk about on this.
We had the same exact note for that one.
Yeah, it's not like, it feels like he tried to put a quote to make it seem like he read a news article on it.
Like somebody that would, like a Red Bull.
Yeah.
A Red Bull athlete would say that or something like that.
And maybe that's the just what he said, and we're wrong. But like, there's no indistinguishable features on any of these other than bad quotes, and so I literally just wrote bad quotes. So I'm locking in 2. You can do what you want. That's just. It feels like if I don't do this and it's 2, I'm not going to sleep tonight. Like, this will at least give me a chance to sleep tonight.
If I go with Logan on this and we're wrong, Spencer gets 2 points.
If we're both wrong, yeah. And you basically, there's no way we don't win this episode.
Well, I could win the episode.
Oh, you could tie.
I could tie the episode.
I would just be
If I don't go with you, Spencer has a chance of at least getting 1 point.
Yeah. And here's my thing, and I'm not saying I'm confident in mine. If you do go with me, though, and we're right, you just have to fool one of us.
I know, but I think the greater danger is
Spencer.
if we're wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
Spencer gets 2.
I'll tell you, between the other 2, I have no real clue. I mean,
my thought on the other 2 is number 1.
The Spider Girl? I do.
Yep.
Okay, can a 3-year-old survive at that altitude? Like, can you actually carry a 3-year-old?
I mean, I would argue they would probably have oxygen.
You put an oxygen mask on your 3-year-old? I mean, that's kind of wild. It's like a 4-day hike, right, Spencer?
I just didn't like the way he told the story. Oh, man,
No, that's
I hate
fair.
this so much.
I do
I let
too.
Spencer take... This is so hard.
It's going to be 3. We're sitting here talking 1 and 2. It's going to be 3.
It doesn't matter which one we choose. It's 3.
He's laughing too much. He knows it.
I'm going to split
Okay.
because I know you guys, if I win, I know you guys are going to choose the exact same
Here's the problem with you
one
splitting.
if you know it.
No. Yeah.
What?
No, never mind. I could still
There's-
tie. I could still tie an episode.
You can still tie.
You do you.
My problem with me actually getting another point is you guys are going to pick the same one next one, and honestly, it's going to be Joe's decision, and she's going to get it right. So, I'm locked in.
Okay. Did you do 1?
Yep, I went 1. Something about it.
Spencer, tell us 3. Just please be true.
Let me break Matt's heart because you're an idiot. One is true. That's 7 and 3-year-olds made it to the top of that mountain. I'm hearing Matt talk himself out of going with Logan. I'm like, oh my gosh, this poor guy. Yeah, that is completely true.
I don't need to hear more. Continue.
That's actually a great question.
Next one.
That's actually a great
Move to
question.
the next one.
Gosh dang, the gnarly. I saw that. I had that comment, and I thought, oh,
He fooled us.
this is so funny. But that is so true. He wrote that, and I said, this is the best comment I've ever heard. And Logan, you're completely correct. If I wrote that myself, I would have added gnarly, because that is hilarious. But it just happened that he said it. He's actually got a website, and it's awesome. And 3 is completely made up. I was driving today, and I was struggling. I'm like, what is the superhuman feat? And I said, how long can I hold my breath? Not very long. Well, you know what? I bet you there's people that can hold it a long time. I bet you there's swimmers that can hold it a long time. Bang, we're in business. So 3 is completely made up. I think the name, I don't know, but I completely made it up.
Matt, where's the mute button?
Yeah.
So Matt can tie with a double stump.
No, he can't.
Yeah, he has 1 point.
Oh.
He can tie with a double stump. That's
Yeah,
all.
you can.
Yeah,
So
I thought
Matt
I
can-
won this episode.
No. I didn't think I won, but I knew that I at least get 0.5.
I hate this so much.
I'm sick to my stomach.
All right.
But I had to do it.
I am also sick to my stomach.
Okay, let's hear it, Matt.
Matt,
Like my stomach just dropped.
I don't even know.
I'm so out of it right now. Give me 2
But-
seconds to take a breather.
Logan, you said it best. You said we're debating between 1 and 2, and it's gonna be 3. And I was like, yeah, you
I
are.
knew it. I could see you laughing. I was like, if I switched to 3 and it was 2,
Yeah.
You wouldn't. Yeah, you should have told me something.
You know what's funny about that,
All right.
Logan, is you remember last week you said it was like the easiest because we said, nope, 2's true, 100%, and we just moved by it. That's how I felt this episode, where you guys were completely dismissive of that when I said, we're in business.
I just didn't know between 1 and 3. I had no clues. I still don't know, and I'm sick.
All right, I hate this.
Let's hear it, Matt.
I have 3 titles for you today, all 3 of which are terrible stories. I have Free Climb, I have Safety Stat, and I have Was It Worth $1 Million?
Ooh. What's it worth $1 million? I love those social experiments.
Was it worth $1 million? Like, part of me wants to read this in like the most angry voice that I can throughout the rest of these, but I'm not gonna be able to do it. So
The odds
Here we
are
go.
no, it's not worth $1 million. Go on.
also the font is like a little bit too small for me, so I'm like trying to get closer to my monitor. All right. The 1971 Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is an iconic film based on the 1964 child's novel Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. Tim Burton was given the opportunity to film an adaptation of Dahl's work with Johnny Depp playing the iconic Willy Wonka. The movie was filmed in 2004 and premiered on July 10th, 2005. And some would say Johnny Depp would be the star of this film, but I would argue the true star was Deep Roy, who played 165 Oompa Loompas. Tim Burton did not want to rely on computer-generated environments for his adaptation and primarily used built sets and practical effects to produce the movie. But since the Oompa Loompas are robotic-like, all looking the same and acting/moving in the same manner, Deep Roy ended up performing for each and every Oompa Loompa. He practiced Pilates to stay in shape and was on a strict diet to make sure that he looked the same during each filming of each Oompa Loompa. Each time you see an Oompa Loompa in the movie, that is the real Deep Roy, not a computer-generated character. Deep Roy was paid $1 million for this iconic performance, but that seems a little low to play 165 characters.
There's like per scene. You're telling me so it's like if he plays one, right? He gets they like clone him because there's multiple in scenes. Like
Yeah,
it's
there's
him, but there's
10 plus in the scene.
Overlapping videos.
okay.
Dang.
Yep.
I don't know.
I would do it for $1 million.
Was it worth the $1 million?
I
Oh,
would.
without a doubt.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
That's fair.
that's
Yeah.
worth $1 million. Okay.
All right. Do you want Free Climb or Safety Stat?
Give me
Free
free
climb.
climb. In
Free climb?
Freya's memory, go Freya.
And Freya's memory.
Is she dead?
Who's? I hope she's still alive. I don't know, but I pray she's alive. She'd be like 10 now, so
Took a
or
dark
11.
turn.
Yeah.
All right. Pierre Martin from Grenoble, France, discovered his passion for heights in the awe-inspiring French Alps. Surrounded by nature, he developed a love for rock climbing as a youngster, evolving into the exhilarating realm of free climbing during his teenage years. Pierre began conquering anything that was taller than him: apartment buildings, power line towers, coastal cliffs, and of course, mountains. Inspired by legendary climbers like Alain Robert, the French Spider-Man, who scaled the Eiffel Tower in 1996 illegally, Pierre set his sights on conquering skyscrapers. A pivotal moment arrived when the construction of Dubai's, I'm going to butcher how you correctly pronounce this,
Burj Khalifa.
Burj Khalifa. Construction began on January 12th, 2004, and would conclude on October 1st, 2009. This archaeological marvel captivated Pierre's imagination. And at 19, when the construction began, he set a goal to free climb the skyscraper in under 8 hours by his 25th birthday. Undeterred by the climb's illegal nature, Pierre took the challenge on November 17th, 2009, 3 months after turning 25. Armed with only snacks, chalk, and his chalk bag, he reached the top in 7 hours and 49 minutes. However, he did not get to the very top of the 800-foot spire that sits on top of the building before security arrested him for trespassing. Pierre's climb left a memorable mark on the world of free climbing, including his idol, Alain Robert, who would legally scale the tower on March 29th, 2011 in only 6 hours and 13 minutes. But Pierre's actions did come with some consequences, landing him in jail for 60 days and a $10,000 AED, which is the United Arab Emirates. Is it dirham? I'm sure Logan probably knows this.
That one I'm out.
Oh, okay. I think it's dirham then. Fine for trespassing, which is equivalent to $2,700 today.
I'm just thinking about how hard it has to be to hold on for 7 hours to a skyscraper. Like,
Yeah.
there's no.
You're strong.
Yeah,
You're strong.
that's wild.
Dude, forearms and backs of rock climbers is insane.
And their grip strength.
Yeah,
It's wild.
Grip strength is good too.
All right, safety stat.
yeah.
Yeah, hit me with the safety one.
It's the last one. All right, so John Paul Stapp, born to missionaries in 1910, would become the pioneer of and face of a new field called aeromedicine. Stapp seemed to be a normal child growing up and would earn degrees in zoology, biophysics, and medicine before embarking on his military career, where he would join the Army Air Force during World War II and then the United States Air Force after that. Stapp saw a problem. Aircrafts were getting faster and reaching new heights, but there was little to no improvements in safety for the pilots. And little was known about the effects that these high speeds had on individuals. So he set out to solve this problem. What would he do? He would be a test dummy on December 10th, 1954. At Holloman Air Force Base in New Mexico, Stapp strapped himself to the Sonic Wind #1 rocket sled and went for a ride. This was a sled on rails that had rockets attached to the back of it. The rocket sled let loose 40,000 pounds of thrust and propelled John Stapp 3,000 feet in 1 second. The sled came to a stop just as fast, and Stapp experienced a force equivalent to 4 tons or 46.2 Gs of force. To put some perspective on these numbers, an astronaut faces around 3 Gs when taking off, and at 9 Gs of force, most people pass out due to blood struggling to get to their brain. Though he was badly bruised and shaken up, Stapp walked away after traveling faster than a .45 caliber bullet shot from a pistol and only wanted to go faster, but his supervisors wouldn't let him. Stapp's research is accredited for the vehicle safety standards that we see every day, seatbelts and pilots ejecting from airplanes.
Holy smokes. Well done, dude.
I mean, that's nuts. Like, I mean, I watched Top Gun. You guys probably watched Top Gun. Like, 9 Gs is when you pass out as
Phenomenal.
a fighter pilot, right? Like, 7 Gs is when you're, like, getting the red blinking lights. 46 Gs. That's... How? That's nuts.
Okay. I think... Logan, do you know or do you not know? Do you have any idea?
I'm between two.
Now, here's the deal. I'm locked in. I'm not going to even talk to Logan because it's in his best interest not to get it wrong.
It's in my best interest to double up with Matt or with Spencer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm locked in, and I'm not saying
get it wrong.
I'm not saying a word. And so, Logan, good luck.
Here's the thing. I'm between.
And then after I hear Logan lock in, I will explain myself.
I'm locked in, and I'll explain myself as well.
Okay.
But go ahead, Spencer.
Okay. One, I am like 43% confident that's true. I feel like I've heard that before. Notice the 43% because I don't trust myself. 2, I stole Spider-Girl. Yeah. Number 2, the name Spider-Girl came from that guy that's called the Spider-Man. So I know he's a real person. I don't know anything about the other guy, but the one that's the Spider-Man, I know that's a real person. So I was like, I'm going to avoid that one. Maybe it's whatever. I went with 3 because no way someone could survive that. I'm sorry. There's no way. And so based on my limited combined 36.9% confidence in 1 and 2, I went with 3.
Are these numbers actually calculated or?
Sure. Why not?
I know. Okay.
Why not?
Here's where I'm at. Number 1, I don't know. I was refresh me on number 1.
It's the Oompa
Number one's
Loompa.
That's right.
Oompa
That's
Loompas.
right. I have no idea.
One
I
guy
think
plays
that's true.
165 Oompa Loompas.
I
I
hope
think
that's
true.
I don't know.
I think it
right?
is.
Number 2, I know people have climbed the Burj Khalifa, and you do get arrested for it. And honestly, the superhuman thing for me may be going to a Middle Eastern jail willingly. But I mean, that's not good conditions. That's that's not what I would look to do, right? However, people have climbed it. It's incredible. It's superhuman. I don't know how they do it, but I believe that's true. Number 3, there's no way you survive that. That's just
There's no way. There's no way.
who greenlights that? Like rockets strapped to a cart on rails? Like
That's not the problem. I don't care about that. It's the sudden stop. There's no. That's impossible. If that's possible, I don't believe that story. Whoever, Matt, if that's the true story, whoever wrote that is lying to you. There's no way.
I don't believe that for a second. So I was truly between 1 and 3, really flipping a coin because I just don't know. I don't believe 3 for a second, but I know how this podcast works, and that means it's true.
Yeah.
1, I don't know, which probably means it's false. I don't know. But 2, I thought was true, and for that reason, I locked in 2 because it is in my best interest.
I knew that. I knew that was.
That's how he thinks.
I knew. Well, that's exactly. I was like, so I need not to tell Logan because he's gonna.
I just double down with you. Give him the best shot.
Yeah, he's trying to double down. Okay. Matt?
Alrighty. Well, Willy Wonka is true.
Dang.
I knew that.
That was true. They literally, like, the amount of filming he had to do for this was insane, and Tim Burton was just like, he is the hardest working man in Hollywood.
If I'm the
Hands
reason
down.
that Spencer wins this,
I know. You're gonna kick yourself, Logan.
but it's the most true.
So you chose number
2.
You chose 2, and 2
I
was the
I chose the
pre-climb.
rocket
You chose
sledge.
3.
I chose rocket sledge.
So rocket sled is true.
That's
It
true.
is from
No,
I pulled all of that information
No
from
way.
the airandspace.si.edu. 100% true. I will
That
send you
isn't-
the link.
No. What's the guy's name again? I need to look him up right now.
John Paul Stapp.
John Paul Stapp. That is, Logan. I don't down your. There he is, right there.
They literally
US
have a
Air
picture of,
Force.
if you search the what's the sled
Work
name?
of-
The Sonic
work-
Wind #1.
Yeah. No. There it is, right there.
It
the
is
first
like
run
there's like
of the
9
rocket
there's like
sled.
9 rockets attached to the back of it, and they
There it
have
is.
literal photos of his face.
There it is.
As
Yup.
he's like in different stages.
I just can't fathom.
It's beautiful.
That is
So
the most
Logan,
superhuman thing.
you
Wow,
ruined it.
Logan. Thank you, Logan. Thank you,
Logan. You are correct. People have climbed it. There have been nobody that has free climbed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That whole story of Pierre Martin is 100% fake. Alan Robert is true, and he did
Yeah.
climb it on those dates. It was not a free climb. He had ropes, and it was a legal sponsor. I think it was even a sponsored
Yeah.
event by Dubai. And he climbed all the way to the top in literally 6 hours and 13 minutes and change.
I just see the pictures of them on the side. That's why, like, I knew someone had climbed it. I don't know what ropes or
Yeah.
whatever. I just cannot.
I know a lot of people
fathom.
do like the interior
Yeah.
Yeah.
when they get to the top, but
No, and I knew
Gosh,
he was a
dang
real
it.
person because I stole the Spider Girl off of that guy. I almost wrote my article on him, but I was like, I feel like this. But no, I knew the guy, but I'd never heard of Pierre. Obviously,
stole
fake.
Spider Girl.
Or,
Oh, you stole the name
Spider-Man.
Spider Girl.
Yeah, Spider-Man. That's how I kind of came out with that. So, well, gentlemen, thank you, Logan. I need to thank Logan for this win. Honestly, thank you, buddy.
Play the exit music. Let's go.
We have to spin a wheel first and foremost.
I know.
Oh, I get to add something to the wheel.
Spencer,
Gosh dang, I
hate
never come
this.
prepared.
Spencer just got a point.
Spencer,
A full point. Logan, it's going to take us now 3 clean episodes to catch up.
each.
We can't catch up till episode 7.
Spencer, we're gonna fight later.
You should fight yourself, man. That's on you.
Superhuman Feats is off the wheel. What are we at, big guy?
We're gonna add fashion.
Stop.
I typed in cool topics and fashion came up, and I said, I know nothing about fashion.
You haven't put
Deal.
cults yet.
No,
I
I'm
have
gonna
my
let you
cult
choose that
stories
one.
written.
I know. That's why we need to avoid that.
I'm never gonna win an episode.
That is true. I'm never going to win an episode either. I'm never going to tie an episode if freaking Logan keeps guessing.
That's so stupid. Quit making your false story so believable. Tell me he like free climbed it with one arm or something, then I wouldn't pick it. All right, gentlemen,
My next story is literally about someone free climbing in fashionable attire with one arm.
Yeah. True. It's true. Let's spin this wheel.
we're spinning this stupid thing.
I hate this so much.
Oh, me too. All right,
I'm just glad that Logan gets to feel the pressure of being in last.
I'm tied for last.
I don't care.
It's spinning. It's spinning. It's
Still
spinning.
last.
It's spinning.
Let's say.
Boom.
Presidents.
Presidents?
Oh,
Presidents.
crap.
Oh, this is gonna be tough.
Boy.
Oh, I don't know. Okay. This is like right up Logan's alley.
Nothing's been up my alley this season. I am getting hosed.
This new scoring system is actually screwing me too
Oh.
because I got 2 points that system.
But no, you didn't.
No, I didn't. I got 0. So Matt, the last 7 hours you put into writing these stories, yeah, utter garbage. Throw it away. Just be done.
This is the
You're unemployed, so you can spend time writing stories. Write better stories.
This is the third straight episode I've told stories. You guys have been like, I have no idea, and then both just double teamed me. Like,
Welcome to the club. Welcome to how it feels. I'm just glad that you were able to stoop this low and figure it out. Because you know what? This is how I felt for the past 3 seasons, including this one.
I just have to say, much like the 93 to 96 Bulls, sometimes great runs end at 3 straight titles, and this may be it for me. I mean,
Great. I really hope I'm not the Detroit Lions and have to wait 32 seasons to get a playoff game in my hometown.
Oh, this the frustrating.
golly.
Oh, the frustrating thing with me is I've blown.
where's
big
the
leads.
mute button?
Season 1, I still don't. I still lose sleep at night for season 1. So
I don't know how this system works.
yeah.
Otherwise,
Well,
I'd mute
gentlemen,
them.
this may go down as the angriest episode we've ever had, but
Yeah, it probably will.
oh, without a
Yeah.
doubt.
but
We
anyways,
talked about
what's
decapitating Middle Eastern prisons. I mean, we hit everything.
Yeah, we did. We hit a lot of stuff.
Oh, we found out how to
And
mute Spencer.
this moment of silence is brought to you by Matt and Logan
Oh my
figuring out how
gosh.
to mute Spencer. So once again, thank you all for listening. I greatly appreciate it. For Spencer, you know what? He's going to keep doing his thing. Hopefully one day he'll blow this lead.
and little
But I greatly appreciate everybody coming
I can
out.
unmute myself.
No!
Oh,
Oh, man.
but yes,
All
thank
right.
you everyone. Until next time.
I'm sick.
Toodaloo.
Peace out.